They came back to see the photographer. Suddenly, I saw the expression of death. Without feeling sad, the photographer laughed and told me what to do. Look at the photographer's bruised face. While this wound is the one he just applied. To fake the wound, it makes me look very angry at the Vietnamese. He quickly explained that to his wife. They said it was a misunderstanding. Listen to me explain. Suddenly, the judge thought of something. Look at the smiling face of the current photographer. Anger thought it turned out that way. Turn to tell. Turns out, this kid was deliberately leading people too. Turns out you're one of them. He raised his hand to make me stop being angry. She screamed furiously. Shen Viet, are you stupid, or is your mother not putting iodine on guard? I can think of a reason for being so incompetent. He stood up in his broken body and said, I have sinned against the gods of your land. But don't get too carried away. In the academy blatantly killing people. What do you think the Holy Lan Academy is? Even though my family is not like you. But also not to let them tear you apart. I want to see the God of the world. To what extent are you religious? He immediately declared regency. I also have my pride. Unless you kill me, you don't even want me to subdue you. Dream of you. They were among those who shouted at the court. It's just right. 7 hit 1, so mean. Everyone quickly joined Theo. It's so mean. It's not mean. Vietnamese judges rush to defend. I didn't hurt him at all. He's been hiding like a troll. Jumping from one place to another, screaming that 6 adventurers motion for trash. And then you point to the photographer and tell him you're going to fool him. Then stand out and let us try the council. See if you're injured. Do you dare? And you just yelled at the photographer. Everybody heard it. The Vietnamese judge assured me I said that. But I didn't mean that. You just need to cripple it. Suddenly, this word came out. Stop the child with death, and so on. His blood is cold. When we look around, everyone is upset right now. He said it was contemptuous. It's too much not to kill, but to maim. Suddenly someone shouted, Vice President IP1 is here. Shen Viet, you see, spit out a spit and tell your partner to retreat. Turned to intimidation. You're good to wait for me today. When he left, he shouted at me. Stop here and put your hands on it. Worried about asking why. But he laughed a little. Not disturbing. The photographer turned to look at death. She grinned and said, no, it's good. Suddenly, a person in the crowd asked, you were just beaten up. Why not now? He looked at the 2 beautiful people. They said they could be interested by 2 people. I volunteered to be beaten to death. But suddenly another guy next to me said, I see the Gao Te photographer again. One of them robbed 2 schools. Why don't they kill him? Now the girls are coming in. Looking closely, the photographer is also very handsome. Both of them have an idea for him. Stop talking about photography. Let me guide you back to the classroom. I have breakfast ready for you. He thought the distance was too close. And he prepares breakfast every day. Then turned to Death. But Death replied coldly, everything is done, and we go first. Next to it, P. Trash and 6 adventurers saw the photographer glancing. Then raise your hand. Meanwhile, a person nearby looked at the scene unpleasantly. He is a man of the gods. He looked at the photographer. Think openly against the gods of the world. And again, seducing my woman. You must be bored. Wait a minute. Departure time is 2 days away. Time. After the regent brings the money back to stop the children. Go back to the library and continue practicing. Evening. Every day, use the soul knitting or nourishing spirit Dan. Lamb now dipping to nourish the soul force. At the same time, exercise. To prepare for the process of tolerating the spirit later. Escape. The 2 days have passed. His soul force was 76. Next day to the day of departure. Chen Lin asked for the silver tent weapon dry salary. The subordinates replied, "You're all prepared enough. Chen, you have come enough. Then let's go." Team 5, 28 people of the Holy Ming family of Tran Lam Sword. Already they're ready to go. Next to the gods of the Vietnamese judges with Team 5. 7 people he was surprised by. To see the emergence of the photographer here. Smiling in my heart. You find your own way to die. The martial artist cannot deal with you. I told the clan to send stronger fighters. He came close to his subordinate's ear and whispered. Then there's a sinister smile. He looked at me and thought the guy was laughing. I don't know what he's thinking. Meanwhile, in the snow, there is the presence of death. The photographer came over and scratched his head and said hello. I was surprised to ask you why. She thought she was lucky not to be angry. Yesterday, I thought a lot. Chen Lin can speak up here. This time, take a risk. Under the name that we go to Sanjia Cup training. Everybody clear? The whole crowd shouted. Chen Lin shot and shouted. Just be the mouth. So the whole group started walking down the street. On the road, asked the photographer. You know Tran Lam Sword Sao? He replied that he was not familiar. Just a few days ago. Just a few words in the library. I was surprised that that was all. He let you go with him. She said softly, Chen Lin's sword and I have known each other since childhood. He's arrogant and cocky. Why can I let you come with me? He was joking, haha. I guess I hit too hard. Death must also laugh. Vietnamese judge standing near. I saw 2 people happy and jealous. You've never laughed at me. You fucking photographer, you're waiting. This time you'll go without coming back. At that moment, he showed an evil face. Quickly, the whole group, under the protection of 6 fake white silver levers. Everyone climbed up the big mountain. Team 5 risk it. I haven't had a problem in 5 years. I see the sky getting dark. Chen Lin told everyone to run away. Let's rest here. Look around. I suddenly realized there was something wrong with this place. The Vietnamese judge immediately came to the beautiful woman who said death and so on. Let's camp together, so we can. I can protect you. However, Death Van ignored flatly refused. We don't need to go camping with other students. To make the photographer here listen to it with his mouth shut. Soon the night was falling and the wind was blowing. The photographer looked up at the sky. I think my training is in 2 months. Then we go home on vacation. I don't know what people are doing this year. He remembered the Battle of Quang Huy Kai. In a previous life, the explosions happened, causing panic everywhere. The body was scattered. Parents promote. Brother, sister, sister. We all fight to the last breath. Think about here. And he stood up and said to himself, before it happened. We must reach the black diamond level. Even long-term grade, they can protect the city. Time is a little rushed. You have to practice quickly as planned. You have to get that thing first. Right now, inside his inner city, there's a blue tornado. Make the photographer think. To practice divinity, high soul is inherently fanciful nothingness. Unexpected gradually turned into a sphere. And the soul center seems to have something. He doesn't know what it is either. I've felt it before. In my previous life, there didn't seem to be that. Based on my current VI, we haven't been able to explore the soul depths yet. Now on the other side of the world, I am in a mood to look out the window. Look at the letter in your hand. He said he had a drink and left a note saying he was exploring. Why not give yourself Theo? Suddenly, someone came in and said, "Lady." The owner told her to come to the road early. It startled her to say, "My father found me so late." What could have happened? She quickly went there to ask her father, "Is there anything wrong with the person looking for you?" He and the elders were here. "Speak up and tell me to call you, because the elders have some questions to ask." She looked at these people and thought, Dad, after coming to power the family, the three elders always confront the. Looks like something happened again today. There are many whiskers now. That's the goal. The elder of the dragon family asked. "Sweetie, I heard. A while ago, I spent a lot of money. I bought a lot of blue. To the death of Lam Thou. It's 100 times bigger than that. I'm afraid there is a price of 10 million yuans now, dear. There's that money. The day we changed our lives. I'm not far from the family. Such dedication. It's the blessing of our world." So she realized that's what it turned out to be. "I know what I bought from you. That's why I put pressure on my father. I want to take part. Even the whole thing. Death throttle." He looked at his serious face, full of father's dilemma. Now she's speaking out to destroy him. Maybe you misunderstood. The reason is that we use our own money in your personal name to buy. Suddenly, the owner said no. It's her own thing. No matter how much you buy. How much did Lam Thou collect? It has nothing to do with the family. Destroy discomfort. Cold then said, "I am sure you understand that the family is in trouble. If you can deliver a Lam Thou element to you, it's a good thing for the family. My family raised me from childhood to adulthood. I hope you can pay attention. Not for the family." He then asked to destroy the elder. "I used my own money to buy a horse. That and the Sao family have a relationship. To destroy the elders for their own money. Buy herbs. Armor equipment is submitted to the Sao family." These words made him hard to understand. What do you think? She's so sharp today. Even the owner feels different every day. The owner of the house stopped talking right. "I think this is not the duty of the people." Destroy said, "You guys about this. It can't be equated with other trivialities. You have to know that it's related to more than 100,000 kilos. That's equivalent to 10 million yuans. There's so much money. We can mitigate the risk of the drug. The world does not worry about God's mercy. Stop children if you bring that place of death to the family. There's no need to marry the judge." He calculated that one was to deliver Lam Thou. Two is marriage, let the gods of the world choose. Another man called Theo. I agree with the old man's view. It's a place that can raise the family. The others agree with this. Even though the amount of NDTO love is too large that even the owner can't talk back. I looked at the girl in front of me. That can't be protected. It made him very uncomfortable. The child is now full of warmth. In the heart of the questions rise. Because why when the family is in trouble? I am the sacrifice. She thought of photography. The mucous membranes say the place of death belongs to a friend. Asked me to buy before. When I raised the price, I gave it all to him. Make everyone here stupid. Stop talking, father. Now in my hands, there's not a single gram scale. Ayake angrily asked to stop pediatric. What's your friend's name? How to come from? But she apologized for destroying him. That friend's information stopped, I can't say. Make him look at others. As if signaling. Then shout, I hope this isn't your last words. If that person is your friend, why don't you come back from that place? She objected. My uncle said that I was asked to buy it from Lamb. I saw the price go up. Please come back from the people. That's no different than the kids. Focus up. This has something to do with family interests. The owner is speaking now. It's best not to talk about it. We tell the enemy to kill Lamb now. The enemy will agree. Answer if the opponent has no background. We're not either. There's no way to get him to vomit out of that dead place. This doesn't have to be time-consuming. Mainly see if the opponent has a background. This word is like crazy. She's emitting a rumbling gas. The power that's swirling around the glow. Stop, the voice asked again. What did you just say? See this source of power. It also surprised the owner. It's amazing how strong its soul is. Destruction was also horrified to see this. The owner is full of confusing soul power like this is SAO. The child has clearly reached the homogeneous bar again. Let the golden love spirit I feel threatened. Suddenly his eyes were so cold that he wanted to stop. All the rooms are lit up right now. That makes you. The elder stood up in horror. Surprise. A pair of wings suddenly sprang out and the body paused. It makes everyone see it. I can't believe it's the spirit of transformation. The host rejoiced. Let the wings be stopped by the soul. It's the embodied soul, of course. Stop talking now. My friend is as precious to me as a mountain. If you really want to mess with him, even if you risk your life, you have to stop it. This challenge, to destroy, must also give in. Sit down and tell him to leave. I can't wait to stop Nie reaching the soul of transformation. So the death of Lamb thou left. He continued. Genius as stopped child, the family will not hesitate to raise. When I heard this, I was surprised. The wings on his back disappeared. The owner said stop. Maybe you've never heard of reincarnation. It's the soul, the pure force to the extreme. Love can get to that point. The future is probably only black. Someone else goes to. Stop talking. The pure bar was able to animate the figure. The future is certain. Soon the others came. Congratulations to the owner. Congratulations on stopping. The pharmaceutical world finally has a day of blooming. It stops me standing like a tree. The owner saw that and laughed. Destroy. This is a marriage to the gods. The other elders heard that and said, maybe we'll bring the only talent. Maybe the family. To the gods. Why does someone else say more? Compared to the embodied soul of Stop Nie, a marriage to a dead man is nothing at all. The thought of these people is real. Which had intended to concentrate, the elder took the title of head of household. I can't believe it turned out like this. The Lord spoke of the gods of the world there. We are temporarily not guilty. There's still 2 years left. Let's get out of here first, not in a hurry. That's right, stop. A few days ago I reached the level of copper. Now through the metamorphosed soul force may have a breakthrough. Now try the glass soul test. She did it. The elders also focused on Theo. Then the soul screams 365 SAO copper bars 3 stars. Turn the scene on the photographer's side now. If we also use the glass soul test, think 82. Not bad practice these days. Before breaking 100 points. Progress may be a little slow. The soul is still relatively weak. Half a year of cultivation should still be the best. That's enough. Chen Lin's sword is special. Arrange a night watchman. Surprised to rest. The photographer smelled something. And then I run up my ass into the woods. The photographer rushed to the place where the smell came from. I can feel the smell of urine. Looking closer, I thought it might be a favorite tiger. Suddenly, someone is hiding behind. Surprised photographer. When I turned around, I realized it was the sword. He's also surprised to see the photographer here. I asked the photographer to stay here. He replied while practicing. I smell in the air a strange smell. I traced it to this place. Chen Lin told me and my 2 subordinates to search. Look at this place. We are in the same place, so let us see. The Vietnamese judge said unpleasantly, "You go there alone at midnight. Maybe there's a dark intention." The photographer. Chen Lin's lips laughed softly. Then think. A person with no background. Dare to fight with the gods. Photography to the end. Is it confident, or is it stupid? Suddenly, the Vietnamese high voice. This place is a place of love. It must have been abandoned for a long time. Chen Lin's sword looked down and nodded. That's what it is. I want to ask you how you feel, Rory. He picked up some hairs and said, "There's some fur left over here on the branches." The basis of my judgment. It must be some kind of hung lake. Hung lake, not large adult body, about 1 meter high. A height of 1 meter is already extraordinary. This is such a big hole. Hang Lake must be training pants in this place. The Vietnamese judge distorted information based only on things like that. To speculate, this place used to be the center of Hung Lake. But Chen Lin's sword next to him was very focused. Tell me to keep talking. The photographer said more. Normal adult. The heroes are all white silver level animals. People spend 3/5 of their time sleeping each year. Overcame the coldest time in Than to Sun Vang. Only in the first place will they be. From the cave district to the out migrating to hunt in the forest. Chen Lin asked the sword, "It's this time. Every year, SAO, there's a smell of urine in the air. If you had stayed there last year, to go through such a long time, the smell of the wind is soon gone. They say that the lake will appear soon." Chen Lin asked us what to do. He said we'd better move all night. Lake Hero sense of smell. If we're found to be unable to avoid a great war for a while. Our goal is to make the best LAN. Stay away from fighting. Chen Lin's sword also agreed with this. But the Vietnamese judge on one side objected to Tran Young Master. Don't listen to him. How empty can this place be? It's very dangerous for us to walk at night. Not by waiting for the morning. But the photographer, with his twisted lips, argued with him. Chen Lin has his own opinion. Sending your subordinates to gather everyone. We're moving right away. The officer immediately received a clear order. Quickly, everyone packed their luggage. Start moving. Everybody's confused with the set command. In such a hurry at night. But Chen Lin told him not to manage too much. Just listen to my orders. Among all people, I am also very curious to look at the glass. People moved quickly to the village. Suddenly, there was a big movement in the back. A scream that makes the AI shit. His subordinate came to ask Master Chen, "Is that love attacks us Sao?" Everyone praised Chen Shaojia for being wise. Tiger is the leader of the team. Get a team now and always. Hearing that, Tran Lam's sword is also aesthetic. Fortunately, there is a photographer. It's hard to avoid casualties. The judge thinks he's right. This bastard. Always cut off your upper hand. Also fortunate to accept. Elder, the platinum bank grade fake Theo in the back. Just wait, Li. While people are whispering to each other. I can feel it now. There are 3 fake martial artists behind. I can't believe I'm being watched. There seems to be no detection. But the Vietnamese judge was mentally unstable. Remember the scene before. He whispered that ordering his subordinates was a bit cold. He is the man of the gods. It turns out that's what I do when I'm alone. I'm sure I can do a lot of Vietnamese right now. Chen Lin immediately called the photographer. May the brothers discover. Otherwise, we would have been attacked. Death is surprised to hear that. When the photographer found out. The sword is called the Chen Lin sword. I owe you a favor. Young brother regent. That knowledge is so profound. Shame not to speak the truth. If you go, follow me. The photographer said there was something missing. We seem to be being watched. This made him look back anxiously. But the photographer reminded me not to look at the silver diggers. Tran Lam quickly faked deer smile haha. I asked if there was a power. What is the purpose? Maybe he's from the dark society. It's a secret organization of criminals. They're not from evil. The enemy of the world in the city of Quang Wei. The sword was placed on the photographer's shoulder. Just give it to me. Soon the sun is coming out. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief too. Sit and rest and drink water. I sat next to the photographer and asked him how many. Questions about carving and martial art skills. The photographer can nod. I saw 2 people talking happily. It makes other people uncomfortable. Tell each other to laugh and laugh. What did you say to the goddess of death? The other man replied that she was very noble. Don't even dare to talk to her. It's disgusting. I told you I have something to give you. Close your eyes, but still follow. Then, according to him, count to 3. When you're about to open your eyes, I want to give flowers to beautiful girls. Suddenly, there is a stroke to want to fly color. Made him look like a glare. It broke apart with a dead flower. Mood. Death Fan saw that shout is the wave due to the tree spirit dynamic force. There is someone standing behind. The photographer stood up and told her to stay here and see the SAO. Right now, below is a ball explosion. The ground creates a scrubber hole. Tran Lam sword. This side recognizes the sacred fire. In the smoke of the forest, sword appeared. Surround the 3 thugs. He told me where you came from. What do we do as an aesthetic if we let them? They know our identity. You can retreat in a moment. It will definitely get the owner in trouble. Thinking of this, he opened a raw axis. Then came the source of the fire. Made a subordinate shout to protect Master Chen. Chen Lin looked coldly at the fire. Of course, it is dark. Bug-Guild fake martial artist Kier intended to attack. Surprise, they're sending out the fire to Chen Lin's sword. But he still managed to get close to one of them. In the blink of an eye, a luminous force is coming. The fire is slowly dying out. It's surrounded by smoke. The officers were immediately surrounded. Protect Master Chen. 3 white silver martial artists also take the opportunity. That's a quick ride over here. Chen Lin saw that. Order your men to chase them and kill them. Now, the photographer and the others are running here. They anxiously asked Chen what happened. He loved it, but he didn't love it. We're being spoofed by Ba. Although he killed one, and seriously injured the other 2. But this guy uses a magic trick to destroy the body. There is no way to investigate further. Subordinates of the Vietnamese judge. That's why people think 1 dead, 2 injured. Why is it possible? Quick report to the old Vietnamese judge. Over here, I think the gods of the world are real. Chen Lin's sword said, I think humans are sometimes scarier than animals. Turn around and keep moving forward. Quickly, this news. The subordinates reported back to the Vietnamese judge. It made him gaping. The other guys talked to each other. What happened to the 3rd-generation white bankier, after all? The name next to him says nothing. It's the people of the Dark Guild. He is the Dark Lord. Death is worth it. This makes a Kai Vietnamese judge think that Ra. Chen Lin Jian thought that the Dark Guild fucking lost a fake white silver martial arts and didn't do it. The photographer lost a hair. Watch out. Dealing with photography can only be done on your own. I don't know why. Chen Lin Et attached such importance to photography. The crew also began to value him. While everyone's talking excitedly and happily, suddenly a woman came to say hello. With a round body, round and round. My face is so cute, baby. Our world is the land of weakness. Is Chen's friend from the world. I saw that the photographer also accidentally gave him a greeting. Tell me I'm a photographer. He secretly remembers Ra shout the lame Lan. I remember a few years later. Lan has become the host of the great family. Is a good person. She came laughing to the photographer. I am a few years older than you. You call me lame. When he heard that, he laughed. She asked me how not to do it. It also makes the photographer. The person next to me is uncomfortable. The cold turns his face away. Lan laughed and thought very carefully. You can see me, but you can be natural. Eyes throw out. Different from other boys. They move forward together. The others, it's amazing. When you get to be with 2 beautiful people. Sky perfume. Next to it is the weak Lan. There is also snow in the world. Make the blue-headed man full of eyesore. When you're just a kid. Wherever you go, there are 2 beautiful women. Accordingly, he established. Go ahead and ask what everyone is talking about. Can you let me join you? Just look at him and think. Why is this hateful guy? She's against the edge. Let's say we're discussing literature. He heard that, laughing ha ha. I would say that writing is the kind I know best. If you don't understand, just ask me. Just say the least. I know better than this 13-year-old. But he shakes his head thinking, stupid, no AI equal. Photographer in class. They could point to the origin of the disease. The knowledge of writing. Probably more intelligent than most people. She laughed and told me not to. Sometimes age doesn't represent anything. A lot of people break the age limit. Hear that? I think we've really broken the age limit. She said, that's the genius we all talk about. He laughed and asked if he was a genius. He laughed. Make Lan weak and comfortable. Ask your attitude. That's obnoxious. The original said, I laughed that I didn't know you were eating magic. What's the kid's drug addiction? Let's see if he's a genius. Only hands of contempt. They say he only has a red soul. Haha, how high is that kind of waste? Shoes for our group. I'm not even sure I'm a genius. When I hear that, I get upset and say too much. LAN turned to a queer, but this resource. Your talent is better than anyone else. I'm 16 years old, and I'm only a 3-star. You have no right to laugh at others. He quickly refused to say why. I am a yellow sea spirit. Just try a little harder. It's an easy way to break the bank. This kid's the greatest achievement of his life. It's just limited to fake bronze bars. Meanwhile, my wife thinks the two of you are arguing. What are you doing? Suddenly, the whole world laughed again. Haha. This kid who's been quiet right now must be afraid of losing his secrets. Suddenly, the police officer patted him on the shoulder and said, Can I challenge you? If you lose, you'll have to crawl and bark. The sound of dogs bar around the millet camp. Death stripe behind. He pulled out his shirt and reminded him. Don't get excited. At this time, the staff laughed happily. Haha. I misheard 01. The boy hasn't come yet. The homogeneous bar also demands to challenge us. We don't need soul power. Just use your physical strength. I can also fight for you. I saw your grandparents. He said, give me a chance. Just bark the dog for a few hours. We will pretend there is no such thing. He asked if he was finished. It's made me feel like a deformed muscle tree. The photographer continued, every day, some dogs are barking at my ears. That's it. Who can bear it? My motto is, if you see dogs like that, beat them. Listen to new words. He starts his finger. To hear the Vietnamese sprinkle on one side. Good aesthetic. You're good. There's a lot of people you can't beat. This place is crazy. The dogs screaming green beans. If you want to die, I will let you die. Chen Lin's sword stood in the distance to see that. Say 1-on-1. There is absolutely no way to win the war. Maybe he has another trick. So he gave the order to tell everyone. Step aside. Let them fight. Quickly, everyone. Gather the two sides and whisper. On the one hand, I am anxious to drink. But he reassured me. Don't worry. Be her man. This little thing can't be solved. Then hit your head. Make the red face suddenly smoke. She stomped her feet and walked away full of breath. They're just friends. He's turned around all the time. I have a hot heart in my heart. Of course, they dare to fight. They are determined to die if given the chance. They said they would beat the photographer to death. It's just that he looks like he's a little nervous. At this time, the wind. A source of soul, the force that comes forth, surrounding the photographer's body. Gradually shape the soul force. Enhance body strength. He's got a 6-pack body, and it's broken. While the danger is holding hands. Tell yourself it's a small thing. I give you 3 tricks. Avoid being said to be weak. The photographer can talk right away. Fast as the wind followed the pointer. Cause provocation when hit by the pointer. Laughing at why you're so weak. He laughed and said it wasn't enough for me. Again, but seconds later, the photographer threw the punch out. Physiological maintenance SAO. Then taste this benefit. Punch him in the stomach. Make the green face want to breathe. He seems to have taken this one shot, and he wants to sacrifice himself. Then the photographer said coldly, "Don't look down on children." The Vietnamese judge saw it and was afraid to drop his pants.